Good evening. You're tuned in to Emo Nightly News every moment online. In tonight's headlines, Dominica Music Awards 2025 celebrates excellence in Dominican music and culture. Choose your lane, build your future. Youth Forum inspires Dominican youth. CARICOM welcomes new chair. US strikes Venezuela and captures Maduro. And Jamaica Teat qualifies for CARIFTA as 2026 track and field season opens. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Carnivalist, girls and rum and vibes and rhythm on the road, on the road, on the road, on the road. Leave your stress at your home and don't bring it on the road, on the road, on the road, on the road. Girl, I don't care if you have a man, we don't need jam, or we party as one. I don't care if you have a man, what happens stays me party, party, party. What happens stays me party, party, party. What happens stays me Blast game in prisons. It's biggest job whatever. Blast mystery progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. The new blast up and rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive Jackpot.
It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast gaming.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is a news broadcast for the 5th of January, 2026. We do hope you had a safe and joyful holiday season as we begin a brand new year. We're excited to be back bringing you the stories that matter most to our nation. Tonight, we start the year informed, connected, and ready for what's ahead. Kicking things off this evening, the Dominica Music Awards DMA 2025 honored outstanding achievements in Dominican music on the 3rd of January 2026 at the Intercontinental Dominica Caribbean Resort and Spa. Produced by Creole Heartbeat, the event recognized excellence across 24 competitive categories, along with Lifetime Achievement Awards and special honors celebrating both emerging talent and music legends. Jerry William, coordinator of the Music Awards, shared remarks give reasons why Creole Heartbeat came up with the Dominica Music Awards.
The Music Awards did not begin as a night of trophies and lights. It began as a conversation, born from a simple belief that our musicians deserve structure, recognition, and respect for their work. For decades, Dominican music has powered our culture, carried our language, and represented us around the world, often without formal system to measure excellence, reward professionalism, or document impact. This platform was created to change that. Competition brings out the best. As a sportsman, I learned early that if you want to be great, you train harder, prepare better, and raise your standard every time you step onto the field. And sports teaches another truth: game respect game. You compete fiercely, but you respect excellence, both in your opponent and in yourself. The same principle guides tonight. The Dominican Music Award is not about tearing anyone down. It's about lifting standards up. It encourages artists to sharpen their craft, elevate their professionalism, and compete at the highest level, always with respect. That is why our judging process is deliberate, transparent, and balanced. Each competitive category is determined by 60% of public vote and 40% judge elevation.
Major winners included Male Artist of the Year went to Shelley Alfred, Female Artist of the Year, Booyah Barbie Fefi, Junior Male Artist, Mighty T, Junior Female Artist, Moxie Shervy, Soca Song of the Year, Mr. Benji Zamoni and Pajo, Kadas Lipso Song of the Year, Mr. Ridge and Chubby, song titled The Sign Man, Calypso Artist of the Year, Joy. Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year, Colton T. Compa Zouk Artist of the Year, Ecstasy. Collaboration of the Year went to Little Boy, Quan and Trilogy, song titled Someone Else. Band of the Year went to Signal Band. Music Video of the Year went to Shelly and Signal Band, song titled Bye to the Old Me. Lifetime Achievement Awards honored 7 icons shaping Dominican music, including Ophelia Olivas Marie, Cadas Lipso, Fitzroy Williams, Cadas Lipso, David Benjamin, Traditional Music, Nacio Fontaine, Reggae, Ian Jackson, Calypso and Songwriting, Jerry Lloyd, Gospel, and Keith Goddard, Booyah. Special honors recognize outstanding contributions, including the Felix Henderson Award to Sonia Maglo Akpa and the iconic award to Krishna Dada Lawrence. The DMA 2025 was made possible through support from partners and sponsors, including the Office of the Prime Minister, Big Edge Financial Express, Republic Bank, KFC Dominica, DBS, Goen Global, Q95, Nature Island Praise Production, and many others. The event highlighted Dominican music as a vital cultural and economic pillar, celebrating talent, creativity, and the island's global influence while inspiring the next generation of artists. Also in local news this evening, the Choose Your Lane, Build Your Future Youth Forum was held on Saturday at the Atlantic View Hotel and Spa, bringing together young people from across Dominica for a day of inspiration, empowerment, and actionable ideas. The event opened with Donna Edwards, founder of the Inspire Forward Foundation, who gave an overview of the forum, emphasizing that everyone has a role to play in shaping Dominica's future.
That you believe in the potential of our youth and the possibility of a future shaped by prevention, purpose, and positive action. We are here not just to talk about violence, but to confront it with courage, to listen, to learn, and to lead. This forum is a space for truth-telling, for healing, and for building the kind of community where every young person feels seen, supported, and inspired to rise. Our theme, Choose Your Lane, Build Your Future, is more than a slogan. It's a call to action, a reminder that each of us, whether young, mentor, educator, or advocate, we all have a role to play in shaping a safer and stronger Dominica. Today's program is designed to spark dialogue and to offer real tools for change. We hear powerful voices, engage in honest conversations, and celebrate the resilience and brilliance of youth, our future for tomorrow. Thanks to our partners, our presenters, and supporters for standing with us. And to the youth in this room, this is your space. Speak boldly, dream free, choose your lane, and know that we are walking beside you. Let's begin this day with open hearts and minds, along with a shared commitment to prevention, empowerment, and transformation. Change begins with you.
Youth participants took part in an interactive session led by Natasha Eloy Labad, whose engaging activity encouraged creativity, collaboration, and personal reflection.
By show of hand, were there any air persons? One? Only one, two? Two air persons? Wow, you are both brothers and you are both air? Oh, you had two really, which two? Air and water. Usually air and water tend to become together. What were you? Air, predominantly air. You were air? You were both air? Both of you? That's why you sit by each other. Air people tend to like fellow air people. Okay, let's read about air element. Did you read the nature of air? You disagreed or you agreed with it? air. So listen to air. Air is like the wind. Air is clear. If they have a feeling about something, you are going to know. Are you guys listening to your nature? These are orderly and focused individuals. They rely on their ability to think things out.
The day also featured other powerful talks and activities designed to motivate young Dominicans to explore opportunities, build skills, and actively contribute to their communities. The forum underscored the message, choose your lane, take charge, and build your future. Also in local news, the Prime Minister of Dominica held a press conference earlier today to address several pressing national and regional issues, including reports of a U.S. travel ban affecting Dominica and the recent arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
Dominica has been engaged in ongoing dialogue with the United States on matters of mutual interest, and an agreement has been reached on one of the primary areas of collaboration. The United States and the Congo Dominica has entered into an agreement to facilitate third country refugees to be sent to Dominica to mitigate scenarios where the United States cannot return these individuals to the state of birth or the region. In our discussions with the State Department, they have been careful deliberations of the need to avoid receiving violent individuals or individuals who would compromise the security of Dominica. This has been acknowledged and well received by the State Department. Even the importance of bilateral relations between the United States and the Congo Dominica, I, as Prime Minister and Head of Government, believe it is important to find key points of agreement and compromise between our countries. This engagement is based on our responsibility to safeguard the well-being of our people, particularly the access to lawful travel, education, employment, and family connections, while strengthening cooperation between our two.
During the press conference, the Prime Minister outlined the government's position on the developments in Venezuela and emphasized Dominica's commitment to regional stability and diplomatic engagement. Addressing concerns surrounding the reported U.S. travel restrictions, the Prime Minister stated that the government is actively engaged in dialogue with United States authorities to resolve the matter.
Comment briefly on the January 3rd, 2026 capture of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores by U.S. forces who have been faced trial in the U.S. on allegations of international misconduct. Dominica, as always, is firmly committed to the principles of international law, multilateralism, and United Nations system, and has a long-standing respect for sovereignty, territorial integrity, and human dignity. Dominica reiterates its call for the rule of law to be observed and for ongoing diplomatic efforts to ensure Venezuela's stability, good governance, democracy, and peace. Dominica remains steady, ready to support all such efforts. At this moment, our concern is for the well-being of the Venezuelan people. Political developments have real consequences for ordinary citizens, affecting social and economic stability, and in many instances, access to essential services. We therefore encourage restraint and actions which prioritize peace and the protection of human life. We are also mindful of the practical and immediate effects that regional developments can have. On January 3rd, for example, in the immediate aftermath of military activity in Venezuela, there were disruptions to some flight schedules in the region, which inconvenienced persons traveling to Dominica. We are pleased to note that these disruptions were short-lived and that flight operations have since returned return to normal.
And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next.
We're at the different phases in life. We move at a different pace. All we need is to be supported. Cause when the baby's coming, business needs revamping. The new job's starting, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, rent due dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
And now for regional news. CARICOM welcomed its new chairman, Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, as he assumed leadership of the Conference of Heads of Government at the State of the New Year. In his address, Dr. Drew extended New Year greetings to citizens and the Caribbean diaspora, praised the leadership of outgoing Chairman, Jamaican Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, and reaffirmed his commitment to regional integration, unity, and calm leadership. He emphasized that regional cooperation remains essential in an increasingly uncertain global environment, highlighting CARICOM's role in economic integration, functional cooperation, and speaking with one voice on shared interests. He also underscored continued regional support for Haiti, advocacy for reparatory justice, and the need for deeper solidarity despite differing national perspectives. Dr. Drew announced that St. Kitts and Nevis will host the 50th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting from 24th to 27th February 2026 and called on member states to move forward together in strengthening and securing the future of the Caribbean community. The Bureau of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, comprising Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia, met on Saturday, 3rd January 2026 in response to recent U.S. military action in Venezuela. CARICOM reaffirmed its strong commitment to the principles of international law and multilateralism as outlined in the United Nations Charter, including respect for state sovereignty, territorial integrity, and human dignity. The region renewed its call for peaceful engagement through diplomatic channels to promote stability, good governance, democracy, and prosperity for the people of Venezuela. The community expressed its readiness to support these efforts in a spirit of cooperation and mutual respect. The Bureau also assured that steps are being taken to safeguard the security of Caribbean citizens and stated that it will continue to closely monitor the evolving situation, including potential impacts on regional economic activity and air travel. And that concludes regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news coming up next. And now for international news. On Saturday, 4th January 2026, President Donald Trump announced that the United States had captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife during a large-scale military strike in Venezuela. The operation, conducted by the U.S. Army's elite Delta Force reportedly resulted in no U.S. casualties. The Trump administration had long pursued legal action against Maduro, charging him in 2020 with narco-terrorism and related offenses in Southern District of New York. In recent weeks, the U.S. had intensified pressure, carrying out strikes on more than 30 vessels and imposing a blockade on sanctioned oil tankers. Trump stated that the U.S. would administer Venezuela temporarily until a proper and judicious transition could take place. With that being said, Venezuelans are bracing for uncertainty following U.S. airstrikes on the capital and the capture of the country's leader, Nicolas Maduro.
Compré un poco más de lo que normalmente compro. Por supuesto tampoco hay dinero para comprar demasiado, pero un poco más de lo acostumbrado.
El pueblo va a estar en la calle resistiendo, exigiendo nos devuelvan a Nicolás.
Están buenos.
No sabía qué es lo que estaba pasando. Yo pensé que era que el cerro se estaba cayendo. Yo siento miedo por mi vida, yo siento miedo por todo lo que pase, bueno o malo, yo siento miedo igual.
Todo dentro de la Constitución. Lo aprendimos del comandante Chávez frente a las vicisitudes. Si hay algo que el pueblo venezolano y que este país tiene muy claro, es que jamás volveremos a ser esclavos.
The International Bar Association, IBA, has raised serious concerns about the recent military intervention in Venezuela, stating that the action, regardless of any claimed justification, raises major questions under international law. While acknowledging serious allegations against President Nicolas Maduro and senior officials, including human rights abuses and suppression of democratic institutions, the IBA stressed that the accountability must be pursued through lawful international or domestic judicial processes. The association emphasized that the United Nations Charter prohibits the use of force and interference in the internal affairs of sovereign states, warning that efforts to force political change outside recognized legal frameworks undermine the rules-based international order. The IBA is calling for a democratic transition in Venezuela that respects the rule of law. The United Nations Secretary General has expressed deep alarm over the recent escalation in Venezuela following military action by the United States. In a statement issued by his spokesperson, the Secretary General warned that the developments pose potentially serious implications for the wider region and described the situation as a dangerous precedent, regardless of the internal circumstances in Venezuela. The Secretary General is calling on all actors in Venezuela to engage in inclusive dialogue while fully respecting human rights and rule of law. The statement was issued in New York on the 3rd of January 2026. Also making news this evening, more than 200 medical students in Gaza marked their graduation despite 2 years of ongoing war. According to the United Nations, all of Gaza's universities have been either completely destroyed or severely damaged as a result of Israeli military operations.
الهلاك والمرض والألم والقلق وأن أحفظ للناس كرامتهم.
كانت السنة الأخيرة وضع الحرب، في وضع اللجوء، وكانت أغلبها في المستشفيات.
تاريخ 9/11/2023 صاحبتي أمل صبحي حجازي اللي كانت المفروض تكون خريجة معنا بهذا اليوم استشهدت. هي حتى لو مش موجودة معنا هالاسم هي حاضرة في قلوبنا دايما في كل لحظة وفي كل ساعة.
غابوا عن المسرح ولكنهم لم يغيبوا عن الحكاية. هم زملاؤنا الذين استشهدوا والذين فقدوا.
احنا ان شاء الله راح نستكمل سنه الامتياز او الانترنشيب. هذه السنه يعني نتوزع فيها على اقسام المستشفيات على طول قطاع غزه الحمد لله.
And finally, in international news, Denmark's Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, has urged US President Donald Trump to stop the threats over Greenland, after he again stated that the United States needs to take control of the Danish territory for national security reasons. In a statement, Frederiksen said it made no sense to suggest the US should take over Greenland, stressing that the territory is not for sale and that any move to annex would violate international law. She called for respect for Denmark's sovereignty and for long-standing alliance between the two countries. President Trump reiterated his position in a recent interview, citing Greenland's strategic Arctic location and its critical mineral resources. His comments, along with recent social media posts by a close aide spouse depicting Greenland as part of the US, sparked concern and criticism in Denmark and Greenland. Greenland's Prime Minister also responded, calling the post disrespectful and reaffirming that Greenland's future would be decided by its people. Danish officials have emphasized continued cooperation with the United States on Arctic security while insisting on full respect for territorial integrity. And that's all for international news. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next. And now for the sports segment. The under-17 girls football team demonstrated their commitment to community service by taking part in a beach cleanup at Rockaway Beach. The initiative focused on environmental protection, with the young athletes leading by example through hands-on action. Following the cleanup action, the team concluded the day with a training session, reinforcing the message of service first and football always. The effort highlighted the team's dedication both on and off the pitch. And the 2026 track and field season officially got underway on Sunday, the 4th of January 2026, with the launch of DAA Development Meet number 1 at Benjamin's Park in Portsmouth. Athletes across multiple categories, from under 11 to open, delivered energetic performances, setting the tone for a season focused on development, discipline, and emerging talent. Coach Nabi spoke with EmoNews on the importance of the development meet and reflected on the performance of his club, the Aspirers. While there were no qualifiers from his team, he noted that the athletes performed well and showed strong potential.
I'm out here at the first development meet of the Dominica Athletics Association. Today we had a wonderful start to the first track and field competition of the season. Again, we would have seen that Aspirers came out, shining red hot to perform. But what I really wanted to see today was to get some qualifiers. We had some coming very close. We had Daniela. We had, in the discus under 17 girls. We had Al Larocque also in the under 17 boys discus. And then we had some marvelous jumpers. We had Shante Joseph in the under 20 girls high jump. Kuma and Karim John Baptist, both twins, in the under 20 boys high jump. They were phenomenal. Our juveniles were also very good outside here today. And I do believe that once we continue with training and consistency, very soon aspirers should have some qualifiers on the board for the Carifta Games. But today it was Jamichael Teat from the Westmore Rangers again who would have surpassed the Carifta standard. So he still remained the only local athlete that we have here on the island attaining the Carifta standard.
Coach Godwin Dorset of the Westmore Rangers Athletics Club in Marigot also expressed satisfaction with his club's performance, proudly noting that one of his athletes qualified for the Carifta Games.
We are also here with Coach Dorset. Dorset, can you tell us about today's activity?
Okay, well, today, we did the AAA, the first event of the year and opening of the athletic season. And we are happy to be here as we have been preparing generally. And I must say it has been very good for us. Jamichael Titt, who was the qualifier at the secondary school's Independence Athletics, has also moved on to qualify even further this time in the discus. He flew 46.36 meters. And as you can see, he's really making some good progress.
Now you have a qualifier. When will the games take place?
Well, the Carifta Games will be from the 4th to the 6th of April in Grenada. All right, there are two categories, and he's under 20. He missed it last year, and so he's anxious to go out and show the world what he has.
EmoNews also spoke with Jamichael Teat, the Carifta qualifier, who shared his excitement and said he was proud to represent his country on the regional stage.
What would you love to see on that day when you represent Dominica at the Carifta Games in Grenada in April?
I love to see myself going to that circle, spinning and throwing over 50 meters. Potentially grab myself a medal, not from only myself, but for my country, of my village, everybody around me, family, friends, all those that support me, all those that push me and back me in my journey. The medal is not only for me, it's for all of us.
And how does it feel to be representing your country?
It feels great, more than great, because to me, that's the greatest honor one can have, to represent the home they come from, and just to have not only just people on your back, but our entire country on your back.
I want to wish you all the best and make sure you bring home this medal come April.
I'll do my very best.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The meet highlighted fresh goals, strong competition, and the promise of future stars as Dominica's athletic season moved into full stride. And finally, in the sports segment, Bangladesh has announced it will not play its T20 World Cup matches in India, citing growing safety concerns amid strained relations between the two countries. The decision follows the release of Bangladeshi fast bowler Mustafizur Rahman from his Indian Premier League team, Kolkata Knight Riders, on the instruction of India's cricket board. Bangladesh's cricket board said the move was taken after assessing the security situation and following advice from Bangladeshi government. The board was formally asked the International Cricket Council (ICC) to relocate all of Bangladesh's matches to a venue outside India, with Sri Lanka being suggested as an alternative host. Ties between India and Bangladesh have recently worsened following political unrest in Bangladesh and protests in India, further heightening concerns over player safety. The ICC has not yet responded to the request. And that wraps up the sports segment. Stay tuned for the weather report from the Dominica Meteorological Service. And this brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast for the 5th of January 2026. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis. On behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is EmoNightly News, every moment online. Good night.